Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Level M Diecast batch review time for Matchbox 2024. This is mix number 10 for the year. We are almost there. We have two more mixes to go. Kicking it off with this one, 2019 Mazda 3. This one is number 77 of 100. This is in kind of a champagne kind of color. This casting's been relatively underwhelming its entire life, but I can tell you this particular color looks very, very promising. All right, next one up, number 55 of 100. That is a brand spanking new casting for this year. That is the Radical Motorsports SR3 XXR. Brand new casting for this year. Very, very nice to see Matchbox dabbling in a little bit of race cars. Just a little bit, not too much to get too excited about. And it's a relatively obscure one, but that's okay. We'll take what we can get. Number 52 of 100, 2019 Volkswagen Beetle convertible. Rocking the disc hub wheels like it always should for the whole remainder of its existence. Hopefully they never put another wheel on it, but I'm pretty sure we will see the small 6 spokes on that casting at some point. Next one up after that, the newest color for the 2023 Jeep Avenger. This one happens to be number 46 of 100. New casting last year, debuted in yellow. Now in kind of a turquoise kind of color, which looks good. Apparently that Jeep sells relatively well in Europe as well. All right, next one up after that, we got ourselves a throwback deco for our Volkswagen Beetle 4x4, number 43 of 100. Really, really cool to see that throwback deco. We'll throw up the throwing back of model that it's replicating when we crack that guy open. All right, another Harry Potter item. The third of 4 Harry Potter items releasing this year. We have seen 2 Harry Potter items before. This is the third one. Number 42 of 100. This is the 62 Ford Anglia. Now, we have seen one in moving parts. We've also seen a hitch and tow, kind of a chariot set. And then, of course, the last one coming out this year will be a convoy truck, which will quite possibly be right around the corner. All right, next one up, 2016 Chevy Camaro convertible, number 31 of 100, brand new deco in blue. It's got some white stripes and some white wheels. Kind of interesting, there's no white wheels on the card art, but the model itself does have white wheels, so maybe we'll see a running change at some point. I'm not really sure. Finally, a new standard deco for our 94 Lexus LS400, number 26 of 100. Just the second standard deco. Yes, we did get a 70th anniversary model for this, but it's just not the same. It just not hit the same at all. And then, of course, if you guys saw me crack open this particular case, there is a super chase in this mix. Happens to be the 1975 Opel Kadett. Looking pretty good in orange. There is the card art. There is the car. When we get to cracking, we will crack this in real time as we normally do. But if you are super lucky, because, yes, this is a loaded batch, you will find a red edition at Target if you are just that lucky. This is the 5th red edition of the year. This is the Dodge Charger Pursuit in a Fire Chief deco. I think this is the first time we're ever seeing this casting with Fire Chief deco on it. Really, really, really cool. That is, of course, like I said, the 5th red edition of the year. The previous one was the Honda E, which I am still in search of at the time of this video. The last red edition of the year will be the Lamborghini Gallardo in mix number 12. So let's get to cracking. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick this off with our 2019 Mazda 3. This one in a nice champagne style color. Full front and rear decos, just like we've seen on all of the Mazda 3 so far. Uses the small 6-spoke. This one happens to be in black chrome, which looks very, very good. Details look good. This is probably the best this casting's ever looked, in my opinion. I think this is the best deco so far. The previous decos have not been very exciting, we'll put it that way. But pretty average model. Nothing particularly fancy. I think it still deserves a spot in the lineup still. I think it fits, but I'm not really sure how much longer this particular casting will last. I don't know. It's just regular. It's just a regular model, but it's all right. It's okay. All right, next one up, we're going to take a look at our retro Volkswagen Beetle. This is a casting that was modified many years ago We've been using this modified version for quite some time. Of course, the engine is part of the interior, as you can tell, because this engine happens to be a reddish color, just like the interior. The Beach Patrol on there, the Coast Guard style deco on there, is actually a throwback to the Ford Bronco from the 80s. The Ford Bronco 2, to be specific. Really, really cool that they're throwing back some good decos. We've seen a couple already in the Mainline this year. They've also done one in a 5-pack. We do have more coming. There were some shown at the gathering. So very, very nice to see these throwback decos. I think that's perfectly great. I just wish that maybe they could use these ultra throwback decos for the quote-unquote carry forward models. That would be really, really nice if they could get rid of some of these carry forward models. All right, next one up. Of course, we're going to talk Harry Potter yet again. It's fine. It's fine. Works in the theme. Matchbox has got the IP. That's fine. We saw the moving parts one, which was pretty cool. I actually had 2 moving parts to it, which is pretty nice. This particular one is basically just no moving parts. I mean, it's same deco, same model. It is obviously a completely different casting because it doesn't have any moving features, but just so they can cover their bases, I guess, and put the model in whichever product line that they want to put it into. But it's fine. Uses the disc hub wheels. It looks like the Anglia. It's okay. I don't really have much to say about it. I really wish, in my hopes, I'm hoping that this is not done as an exclusive Harry Potter casting type of thing, because I'd really like to be able to see this casting have other decos on it, just regular decos down the road or something like that, and not be stuck with Harry Potter. Hopefully that's what they did. I don't know if that's what they did or not, but hopefully it is. Since this one is a brand spanking new casting, 1447 is the man number on that one for your brand spanking new casting Ford Anglia. All right, next one up, we're going to go with a Chevy Camaro. We actually just covered this one the other day. We were talking about the new Matchbox themed series, the American convertibles from Walmart. There is a white one in there. This one is in blue. We have seen this casting in blue, but not with dual white stripes. Plus, this one has front end print on it additionally, which is really, really nice. And I really like the white 5-spoke wheels on it. Looks really, really good. Obviously, no taillight deco on there because we do get the top pass. But I think that's fine. I think we can live without the rear decos on there. Not a big deal. The blue looks really, really nice. The 5 spokes in white look great. The dual white stripes look really, really good. It's a really good looking casting. It looks really, really good. It's probably one of the best versions of the convertible we've seen so far. I guess there's not much more to say about it. It's good. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, moving on to our Lexus. Whoa, Lexus taking off. There is our Lexus LS400. Now, when this casting came out, it was super, super late, super delayed. We got a reissue or carry forward of the original first edition, which was unfortunate. They threw the 70th anniversary deco on it, which is nice just because we got a new version for it. But we needed a proper one, and I think black was probably the most logic color to go to next. We started out with that kind of champagne kind of color, and then now they've moved to black. So now we're going to need to see a white one with the beige trim on the bottom, and move on from there. But this one is a pretty good fit. I'm not 100% sold with the disc hub wheels. I think we should try to see this one with the small 6 spokes. I think the small 6 spokes would look good on this casting, and bring a little bit of sporty flair to it. Just a little bit. Doesn't need to be super sporty, but just a little bit. Of course, the rear bottom trim on this casting is part of the base, so you do get a nice color break on this one to cover the trim details. I just like to point out the tail lights because they're just awesome. This particular one is a really good version too, which is not very common. All right, our Radical Motors, the SR3, I think it's called. This model is extremely wide, like way wider than I thought. But this is a brand spanking new casting. I think the Matchbox team did a fantastic job. I'll get some up close pictures here in a minute, but it's a 2-seater. I think the proportions look great. The casting looks fantastic. Looks really good, especially compared to the source material. They have Radical printed back there on the rear wing. That rear wing is plastic. It's probably part of one of the interior pieces. Not the base, but the actual interior. It's relatively rigid. It's pretty rigid for a plastic wing, especially for as high as it is. But this one looks fantastic. Small 6-spoke wheels with just the red chrome ring, little red stripe down the center. And we also get full front and rear decos. Although full front and rear decos is a little bit of a stretch. You see in the back there, it is just a couple of taillights, but it looks good nonetheless. And then your details in the front. The headlights look very, very good. There is your Radical Motors logo, which is very, very nice. Again, like I said, it is a 2-seater. The steering wheel is a joke. Really, really huge joke, but I guess it's there. And then this is a brand spanking new casting. There is your base deets. 1439 is your brand spanking new man number. I think you guys can tell just by looking at the base just how unbelievably wide this particular casting really, really is. It's crazy wide. All right, Volkswagen Beetle, new Volkswagen Beetle convertible. No wheel will look as good on this casting as the disc hub wheels. I really don't ever want to see another wheel on this casting ever. Never, 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 never. It's almost like the disc hub wheel was specifically made for this casting, even though it existed before this casting. It still looks fantastic. This one in a metallic yellow looks very, very good. Full front and rear decos. Not a huge fan of this casting, but the wheels just really make this casting work. Like it just does. I think everybody can agree with that. It just pops. But other than that, just another standard release, another model that deserves to be in the range for an extended period of time. I don't think that this one will really ever get old. Especially for the ridiculous amount of colors that they can put on that casting, which is really good. Just keep on rolling. Just keep on trucking. All right, the very last standard release model for this particular batch is, of course, the Jeep Avenger. This one is in a teal color. New casting last year in yellow, uses the bigger 5-spoke wheels on there in chrome. This is a good casting. Full front and rear decos on this one. Apparently relatively popular in Europe. That's what I've heard, what I've read. Not sold in the States. As a matter of fact, I used to own a Dodge Avenger at one point in time, which was actually a 2-door coupe, which then became a 4-door sedan. And then now it's a Jeep, and it's an SUV, which is interesting. So very interesting that they're using that name, but the casting is good. It does have plastic top. Pretty average. It's what a lot of these crossovers are that they're doing now, because in real life a lot of these crossovers do have, color blended roofs and stuff like that. Either they're going to be black or white or whatever. The rest of the models typically a different color, so only fitting that Matchbox would kind of break up the monotony. All right, Red Edition. If you do pick up this batch at Target, hopefully you are lucky enough to grab a Red Edition. This is, of course, like I mentioned, the 5th Red Edition of the year. There's only one more to go, which would be the Lamborghini Gallardo. If I remember all of them correctly, I think it's the Holden, the Dodge Corvette. There's the Mercedes. Maybe the Mercedes was last year. Honda E. This one. I know I'm missing one. I don't have the Honda E specifically, but very happy I can bring this one to you guys, because I do like Chargers. I actually did go out and get this one from eBay. Target is a disaster, so I wanted to make sure I completed this batch, because it does have a chase in it, which we'll take a look at just next. But I do believe this is the first time we're seeing this particular casting with Fire Chief deco on it. It's always been in some type of police or tactical type of unit. Nice to see it in a Fire Chief. I think it works perfectly fine. Of course, it says official business on it, Matchbox County. Of course, it's not licensed, but that's perfectly fine. And of course, the wheels are very, very nice with just the center disc hub with the foil print. So, moving on to the very last one in the mix, of course, our 1975 Opel Kadett C GTE, the Super Chase. This is the, I think this is the 4th Super Chase of the year. This should be the very last Super Chase of the year as well. So we did get the, I believe we got the Ford GT, the BMW. There's a Ford pickup truck, I think this is the last chase of the year, but let's go ahead and crack this one open together. Pull this one out. Pull it out of the card. There is our Super Chase. Uses the kind of cog wheels. Looks pretty good. Of course, those are rubber tires. I call them Real Riders. People yell at me for calling them Real Riders. GTE on the side. Opal says SC for Super Chase. It's got extra print all the way around. It looks really, really good. Full print on the front. Says SC as well. Your Opal logo. Details on the back. Opal GTE Super Chase again. A couple of black stripes on the top as well. So we will throw that guy on the rotator and we can roll out with our Super Chase. Let you guys take a look at that. That is mix number 10 for 2024. Very, very large mix. But next mix is even bigger. 11 mix. The mix 11 is even bigger. That one should be coming right around the corner as well for batch review for you guys. But anyways, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about that batch. Let me know what you think about the Super Chase or the Red Edition. What your thoughts are about finding reds at Target for Matchbox. And we'll see you in the next batch review. Peace.